Hey guys, this is Ashley. We've been talking about how to use curation as a content marketing strategy, and today I'm just going to show you one of the strategies you can use to make curation go a lot faster. I'm going to use Shareist on this site called Active Gear Review. I've already set up a project inside of Shareist called Active Gear Review, and we have some other videos to show you how to do that if you aren't sure how. And I've looked up the most popular related posts on this site. I chose a topic, men's trail running shoes, and I used Google Analytics to find out which are the most popular posts. That's one way to find out which are your most popular posts related to a certain topic. If you've been the primary writer on your blog, you probably know your content well enough to go back and look at some posts you can bring together to create a guide. This is a really great strategy for people who have a lot of blog posts that are how-tos or product reviews or anything that can be grouped together under a certain topic to create a step-by-step guide or a best of guide or a most necessary guide. So I'm just going to show you the steps to go through that, and then you can kind of use your imagination how you could best use it on your site. So I have the most popular 4 posts up here that are related to men's trail running shoes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Shareist bookmarklet right up here on my Chrome browser, and I'm going to grab this URL with the Shareist bookmarklet. Whenever I'm grabbing a new URL, I want to tag it really well so that later if I want to do a subject-based wrap-up post, I have these tagged. So I'm going to tag this as men's shoes, trail, and running. And I'm going to go ahead and do best of as well so that if I ever want to do a post bringing together all the best of gear, then I can search using that tag. All I'm going to do here, I'm going to select my project. Obviously this is going into Active Gear Review, and I'm going to click Curate. This is going to either allow me to add it to a page that's already existing or begin a new page with a new title. These categories will all come from the WordPress blog it's connected to. So if I already had this connected to my WordPress blog, all the categories here would appear right here. So I'm just going to call it Top Men's Trail Running Shoes and add that as a new page. As soon as that new page is added, I can choose to either edit it or I can close it. I'm going to go ahead and close it so I can add these others to that existing page. Once again, I'm just going to open up the new blog post, click on the Shareist bookmarklet. I think it's coming over here. Right now, Shareist is pulling in all of the information, the pictures. I'm going to do the same thing again, tag it. And then curate it once again. This time that page is already created, so I'm just going to be able to add it to an already existing page. Save it to the page. I can choose to put the new element at the top of the page or the bottom. I'm going to continue adding these pages, tagging them. And if I wanted to choose a different picture, I don't know if this picture is necessarily the best representation of that shoe, so I can scroll through and find one that I feel like is. I like that one. If there wasn't a picture in here that I liked, I could get a screenshot from the page, I could add one from my computer, or I could choose to have no image with that element. I'm going to go ahead and begin the process with these two. So now I have 3 Shareist sharing windows up. I'm adding this one to the existing page. Again, I can put it at the top of the page, the bottom. Oops, I probably wanted to change the picture for that one, so I'll go in and do that once the post is all together. So I'm just flipping back between the screens to make sure they all go onto that same page. So now each of those top shoe posts are added to a page inside Shareist. So I'm going to go back to my active gear review project and click on the publish. The publish button is going to allow me to see all of the pages I've built so far. So I'm just going to click on that and we'll see where all of those elements have been added. Like I mentioned, I want to change the picture on this one, so I'm going to click the little pencil to edit that post. And then just scroll through the pictures until I find one that's representative of the product. I feel really good about all those pictures. What I can do now is change my title here if I'd like to. I can add a little bit of content. And in fact, I am going to actually post this to my own personal blog, so I'm going to say this is a demo post done for a Shareist video. Obviously, you wouldn't put that in your blog post, but you could do a interesting introductory paragraph saying these are the shoes that I would most recommend. Read through each of my posts to find out under which circumstances I would recommend different ones, but these are the top shoes that I would recommend for trail running for men. I would probably go ahead and add another conclusion as well. As you can see, I can add any other elements that I want in here. I could add a tweet from somebody about the shoes. I could add another image of me running in the shoes. There's a lot of options what I could add here. I could also add, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and add the actual product link by clicking on this button. We could find the product, enter the product URL, so people didn't need to click through to purchase one of them, but we could put the product URLs there. So those are some examples of all the different things that I could add. Once I feel really good about it, I'm going to click through to the settings. I can make some changes based on if I want the title, the actual URL to be the title, or I want something else. So this is where some of the SEO settings will go. I can tag it so that it's tagged on my WordPress page. And then I'm going to click on through to publish. This is going to show me all of the blogs that are connected to this project in Shareist. Every site comes with its own Shareist blog, but I don't tend to use that for this project, so I'm going to post this to my Ashley B. Coombe WordPress blog. The campaign would allow me to connect that to a campaign that's set up in Google Analytics. We have different videos that show how to do that, so I'm not going to focus on that right now. It's going to allow me to select any author that I have on that blog, and then any of the categories I already have set up. I'm going to call this social media because this is a demo on how I would use this for social media. I can also set this as a draft. I can make it private so that only people who have the URL can see it, or I can go on and publish this, which is what I'm going to do. Once that's published, we'll be able to go look at my blog and see that on there. I can either just go straight to my blog or click View Published Post. And you'll see this took on the actual styling of my blog and displayed it into a really nice way, really easy to read. If I wanted to, I can go back now and edit that post. I could add some content in between the actual shoes and make a comment about why I suggested that shoe. So I can do a lot of different things here. Once that's complete, I would take it a step further and go on and share it on social media. And one of the great things about Shareist is it's going to change the format of the share based on if I'm trying to share it on Twitter or if I'm trying to share it on Facebook. You will not be responsible for changing how it looks. Shareist will do that for you. So I would share that. I may schedule it to share a second time if I wanted it to tweet out more than once. I could schedule it to go now, or I could schedule it for several different times to go out onto my Twitter feed. And then finally, once that's done, I may go even a step further and export this as a newsletter. This may be something that I want to send out to all of my audience. And if I had Aweber or MailChimp or Constant Contact connected, then I would be able to publish straight to that newsletter from right here. I could, if I was with a different newsletter service, I could just have it show up in HTML, so I could copy and paste that into my newsletter service. I could create this into a PDF so that maybe when I'm giving away a white paper in exchange for people's email address on my website, they could download this PDF of my top recommended men's trail running shoes. Or I could copy it into plain text or markdown. So those are all of the ways that I could export it. Once I had shared it on social media, I might want to use it in that way also. Just to take it one step further, as I had shared it onto social media, I may want to go into my social media and set up ads to a really targeted audience so that they reached my site based on that guide, created from content that I've made maybe years ago, weeks ago, months ago, but created from a curated post from content that I've already created. So if you want to go back through those steps, then they are on the blog, and I wish you luck in creating your curated posts from content that you've already put together.